On these towering cliffs where a single misstep could cost a life, there exists an animal that turns danger into strength, the mountain goat. They don't just survive, they dominate a realm where even the fiercest predators often fail. But how can a creature so small manage to outwit snow leopards, bears, and even eagles? The answer will leave you astonished. The snow leopard, a master predator of the high mountains. With deadly speed and precision, it believes it can take down any prey. But this time, its confidence came at a price. Chasing a mountain goat along the cliff's edge, a single miscalculated leap, and both hunter and prey vanished into the abyss. The mountain shows no favoritism. One misstep, and the price is life itself. Another snow leopard ambushed from above. It seemed certain that a meal was within its grasp. But just as its claws were about to strike, the mountain goat made a sudden leap, escaping in the very last moment. The leopard lost its balance and slammed hard against the rocks. A brutal end. Here, on these cliffs, a single misstep can turn heaven into hell. Seeing this scene, what thoughts come to your mind? In truth, life and death seem to be dictated by nature itself. Even when you fight with all your strength, struggling time and again against fate, the final outcome is something you can never truly predict. Because in the grand wilderness, you are but a tiny speck of dust, and no matter what, you can never escape the unyielding laws of the wild. The chase on the treacherous cliffs is a deadly game, where the terrain decides everything. The snow leopards seem to hold the ultimate advantage, armed with speed and the power of a true predator. Yet in a single misstep, the tables turned, and the mountain goat proved, on these sheer cliffs, they are the true masters of survival. Even the mighty bear, a living emblem of brute power, cannot defy the will of the mountain. In a desperate chase, it drew dangerously close to the mother goat and her fragile kid. But at the edge of the cliffs, instinct spoke louder than hunger. The bear paused, its breath heavy against the wind, and chose retreat over recklessness. For in this unforgiving arena, no meal is worth the price of a life. The eagle, lord of the skies, striking fear with its massive wings and razor-sharp talons. Yet even this king of the heavens sometimes struggles against the mountain goat. For on the sheer cliffs, the sky is no longer an advantage. Here, agility and climbing instinct decide who survives and who falls. But not every mountain goat emerges victorious. At times, their only choice is to leap from the cliff's edge. Some survive, saved by the icy river below. Yet others crash against the rocks, ending in tragedy. The mountain is indifferent. It sides with neither the weak nor the strong, but enforces only its own unforgiving law. A single misstep, a minor slip, that's all it takes to turn a ruler into a victim. Bodies crashing against the rocks, roars fading into the abyss, all serve as a stark reminder that nature shows no mercy. On these towering cliffs, death is always waiting. Yet amidst constant danger, the mountain goat endures. It chooses the narrow path, but it is their agility and courage that crown them true kings of the cliffs. They do not always win, but every escape is proof that wisdom and bravery are stronger than fangs and claws. In a world where life and death are separated by a single step, the mountain goat teaches us a lesson in resilience. They are not invincible, but they know how to use the terrain, when to fight and when to retreat. And upon the frozen peaks, they stand tall as symbols of survival. If you enjoy these dramatic tales from the wild, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The journey through the animal kingdom continues, and the lessons from nature will never cease to amaze us.
Every year, hundreds of innocent lives quietly vanish beneath the wheels of trains that cannot stop. They feel no fear and sense no danger, simply crossing the tracks, never to return. From the grasslands of Asia to the quiet countryside of America, the tragedy repeats, silent and sorrowful. These are haunting moments, reminders of how fragile life is when nature meets steel and speed. When a train whistle blares in the distance, a warning sound the cow by the tracks doesn't understand. It keeps walking slowly across. And then, the impact, inevitable, unstoppable. The train roars past, pressing a helpless sheep flat against the tracks. Miraculously, the wheels miss it. But the deafening engine terrifies the poor creature. It lifts its head in panic, hitting the undercarriage painfully. In the end, it stays still, quietly enduring. Just a little longer, and maybe, just maybe, it'll survive and make it back to its flock. Another scene, even more heartbreaking. A bird glides just above the ground, wings outstretched. And then, the train rushes in like a gust of wind. Feathers explode into the air. A farewell in a single, tragic moment. Chilling and heartbreaking moment. A cow, stuck beneath the train's wheels. The helplessness of those around it. The tragic ending that no one could prevent. It's a haunting image, a painful reminder of how fragile life can be and how tragedy unfolds quietly around us every day. In Southeast Asia, cows often wander onto railway tracks, unaware, unprotected, and become victims of oncoming trains. Despite efforts by local authorities and conservation groups, hundreds of train livestock collisions still happen every year. In the US, some collisions involving sheep or cattle have caused damages reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. A small dog trembles on the tracks, frantically trying to escape, only to be sucked beneath the train, vanishing without a trace. That's why people are constantly reminded, put up fences, keep animals away from the tracks. Because sometimes, a single moment of carelessness can lead to irreversible tragedy. And sometimes, even humans can't escape danger. Amidst the tragedy, there are still sparks of hope and humanity. People working together to pull a buffalo off the tracks just before the train arrives. It's a powerful image. Their relentless effort, and the moment the animal stands up safely, offers a sense of warmth, proving that compassion still exists to protect the vulnerable. In India, up to 6 goats are struck by trains every single day. In Brazil, livestock owners can be fined up to $1,200 for letting animals near train lines. In the US, where deer and elk are increasingly common, authorities have installed fences and monitoring stations to prevent collisions. The tragedy reaches its peak with the story of an elephant. Struck by a train, the majestic creature is left gravely injured, writhing in pain yet still trying to rise. The image of it sitting helplessly beside the track, facing the machine that sealed its fate, is one of the most heartbreaking sights. Though it tried to escape, its injuries were too severe. The elephant died the next day. A tragic ending to a story that reveals the cruel conflict between human progress and the survival of wild animals. You see, all of this points to one message. Never gamble with life when a train is near. These tragedies don't just break hearts, they also bring devastating consequences for both humans and animals. And that is why we made this video. We hope it reminds you to be more cautious and to join us in keeping all lives safe, no matter how big or small. Don't forget to subscribe, support our work, and stay tuned for more powerful stories. Thank you for watching.